And it's tournament day. Going down to Forbes Games and Hobbies in Cambridge, Ontario. Just about to go pick Cody up from the Hooded Goblin. Make sure you check the link down below. And we're gonna have a great time. 3 games, 12 people at this little RTT, but it is a Sharks tank. I cannot wait to show you. Let's begin.
The Dark Kid.
And we're here at Forbes Games and Hobbies. Really exciting. I'm hanging out with all these people today. It's super fun. That's Diogo. Say hi, Diogo.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. That's Cody from the Hooded Goblin. Yay! He's my first round opponent. And that's the sack of... You can't see me smiling through the mouse, but that's Devin.
Hello.
Yeah. Did you bring a Warlord Titan on a Warhammer Titan on a Sky Shield landing pad? No?
How's it over 2000?
Ah, boo.
I might be a scumbag, but I don't cheat.
So let's start by looking at my list and what I brought. And here we have it, 2,000 points, the list that I will be using at this week's tournament, this invitational, and I'm very, very excited. This is a list that I developed during quarantine, playing some tabletop simulator events, and it was really cool when I tested it, played on the Tactical Tortoise pods, did very well. So I thought, why not try it in real life? A couple of changes though. I didn't have the birds and the Beast Pack Master back when I originally tested the list. Had like another squad of witches and another venom, I think. But of course the changes to raider costs means that I had to switch the list around a little bit from when I originally developed it. So this is 3 patrol detachments. The first patrol detachment is Cabal of the Poisoned Tongue for the redeploy. And of course, all my transports are in there as well. It increases the poison on the venoms to 3+, which is really cool. Allows me to redeploy the raiders if I need to, and or put the Void Raven bombers back into reserve. But we have an Archon with a blast pistol and an agonizer. We have 10 Trueborn because he is upgraded to a master, 2 blasters and a dark lance, and actually have to switch that guy. Just noticed I made him a splinter cannon, so he's not in there. 2 units of 5 mandrakes, 2 single Urgles from Blackstone Fortress. That's right, there's still a unit you can take. 16 points to do actions and stuff like that. Very, very useful. And then 2 Void Raven bombers with dark scythes, which are of course the 6 shots, disintegrators essentially. 2 raiders with splinter racks, and 2 venoms with just 1 cannon and a twin rifle. Then we have a Cult of Strife patrol. She is my warlord, the Succubus, with the Blood Dancer and Triptych Whip. And of course, I take a Beast Pack Master, 2 units of 3 birds, and 2 units of 5 witches with a blast pistol in each. She picks Adrenalite, so +1 attack combat drug, and then the witches and the Beast Pack Master roll for their combat drugs. And then the last patrol is a Cabal of the Black Heart patrol with 2 Razor Wing jet fighters with dark lances. One of them has a splinter cannon, which is really, really cool. And another unit of Trueborn with 2 blasters and a dark lance, and another Archon running Hatred Eternal, blast pistol, Gin Blade, and yeah. So he's like a little close combat-y character together with the Succubus. Then I have this Archon here. He is running the Helm of Spite in case I run into any Psychers and things like that. And there you have it. It's actually 1,999 points, which does drive me a little crazy, but I was finding it very hard to fit the points exactly. So with that, I'm looking forward to it. It's more going to be a nice experiment, see how it does. I feel like it has a lot of firepower, might lack a little bit in board control and table presence, and I'm excited to test it, see how it does. What do you think? Let me know down below. Let's get to the event. And here we are after turn 1. Deployment for round number 1. We're playing on, all the tables look pretty much the same because they are WTC style. So lots of good line of sight blocking terrain, being able to hold 2 of the objectives out of line of sight. It's mission 11, and I'm playing Thousand Suns and Zinj Demons, which is really cool. Shout out to Cody from the Hooded Goblin. but also Thibaut, who him and I have developed a list like this for a very long time. It's a very fun list, so I'm using my list, of course. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. Okay, let's dive into it. Okay, so I did end up going first. My first turn bombing run was stupidly good. I killed 2 sorcerers and put 1 Leviathan Dreadnought down to 4 wounds, which then was finished off by a Razorwing Plane, which is just like a crazy great good way to start the lucky way to start the game. Other than that, I shot a bunch into them. There's like a whole bunch of summoning points, which means it's very hard for me to kill a full squad, but I have killed about 15 models out of this 110 strong unit of horrors here, which is also interesting. The true one have done great, just kind of moved up. I did Octaros data with my single Urgle, that's right, from Blackstone Fortress. And I've screened out the teleporting with the stuff, because he does have stuff in reserve, so I have to just preempt that. So with that, let's dive. Oh, and I did put 5 wounds on the chicken. All right, so with that, let's dive into turn number 1 for the demons. But we'll be back probably after the game.
Let's dive into Cody's list for a second. So, it's 2 detachments. You have a demon detachment with a Tricked Outlaw to Change and the Changeling, 2 10-strong horror units, which doesn't seem like a lot, with some Furies for some actions. Then you have the Thousand Suns detachment with an Exalted Sorcerer, Terminator Armor Sorcerer, 2 Leviathan Dreadnoughts for some fire support, as well as 2 units of Scarab Occult Terminators. The key to this list is the almost 300 points of summoning, where the 10-strong horror units and others become incredibly useful.
Okay, and here we are after round number 1. We just went for lunch, coming back to round number 2. Next round I'm playing like against 30 or 40 Deathwing Terminators, which is going to be super fun. So wish me luck on that one. However, what happened in this game, the 2 Voidwing Bombers killed a couple of the Thousand Sun Psychers in the first movement phase, and that was it. So I pretty much turned the game in my favor. It was 97 to like 30 points, 28 or something points. And I did okay. I was going for Retrieve Octaros data, so I was able to do that pretty easily. I went for Kill Psychers because I was playing a full Psyker army, and I went for Engage on all fronts because I have the planes, so it's good to like move them around like that. Okay, so with that, on to round number 2. Okay, this is I went first. This is round number 2. And I'm playing against Deathwing, Ravenwing, so Dark Angels. My bombers did okay. I was able to put 2 wounds on the Apothecary. I nuked the command squad, the Deathwing command squad, so that's really big. And that allowed me to try and snipe his character, but he survived with 4 wounds remaining. That's the Arbiter's Gaze Landspeeder. Other than that, I'm in a good position. I killed 4 Blade Guard from 1 unit, and so it's good. I've taken take wounds off of models, so no prisoners. I've taken Octaros and Engage. So far, I'm maxing that out so far. Okay, and he's taken Grind Them Down. He's taken Stubborn Defiance. Basically, I'm assuming going to start. Do you have to pick one objective? I'm assuming it's that one.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
And then he's also taking Raise the Banners, which he can do with 2 of them. Cool. Other than that, let's dive into the rest of the game.
Deathwing Terminators. So, Vanguard Detachment with a couple of Deathwing Ancient, Ezekiel, a couple of Talon Masters, one, of course, with the really cool hit on 2s, and a unit of Blade Guard Veterans, and more Blade Guard Veterans, a Deathwing Command Squad, and then 1 giant Terminator squad with Cyclone rocket launchers, and then 2 smaller 5-strong squads. This is a very tough list, and an Apothecary, of course, because why not?
Okay, it's the end of round number 2, and it was really, really close. 84 points for the Deathwing player, 87 points for me. So that is another victory for the Drukhari. I was able to overwhelm the one side that I really pushed up of, but the big block of 10 Terminators and Stubborn Defiance meant I just couldn't take away 15 points. He was able to kind of score 2 objectives most of the game to get 40 points on primary, and that was it. I just couldn't stop him from scoring points, and he got enough points to kind of like stay in the game. Now I took no prisoners, and I did do decently with no prisoners. However, I scored way less than I would have thought I would. to be honest, I should have taken banners. I thought he would come at me a lot more aggressively, but to be honest, what ended up happening is I would have maxed that out instead of retrieve Octera's data. So once I would have put the pressure, I could have just laid back, let him like slog it slowly to me instead of sending up a few things. So that was great. That's 2 W's. This was a very tough match. 30 Deathwing bodies, so transhuman, all that stuff. But my army has a crazy amount of shooting. And I was able to kill everything except for 10 Terminators, the banner, and 3 more Terminators here, I think, or a couple of Terminators there. Everything else died. So I killed like 20 of them. Okay, on to round number 3. Okay, so this is round 3. I get to play Devon and his 3 Void Raven Bombers, and 5 with 30 Witches and 20 Trueborn. So pretty similar to my list. I did end up going first. I softened up some of the Raiders, and then I killed 2 Void Ravens with my shooting. So that was quite good in terms of that as well. Okay, so over here we have 1 Raider that has 6 wounds left, 1 that has 9 wounds left, and then 1 that has 2 wounds left. So that one slowed down a little bit. Okay, wish me luck as we move into the... Oh, this is a whole 2 mission, so it's going to be really intense.
Triple Patrol Detachments. So we have Obsidian Rose, 1 Archon, with Trueborn, a Void Raven Bomber, a couple of Raiders in there as well. And we have a Cabal Blackheart Detachment with a Jinblade Hatred Eternal Archon, so Killy, 10 more Trueborn, and 2 more Void Raven Bombers with Lances and Missiles. Couple more Raiders in there. Lastly, Cult of Strife Detachment, Killy Succubus with the Triptych Whip and Precision Blows, 10 Blood Brides, 10 Witches all decked out, and a Raider. Oh, mirror match. Interesting.
Okay, so that is the end of round number 3. It was a victory, so undefeated. However, I didn't get enough points to get first place. I got second place, undefeated. Dustin from the Stutter Scrub podcast would have been my opponent next round. And then if it was a 4-round tournament like a normal RTT.
Well, maybe we'll just have to have you over on stream to have this.
We'll have to have the showdown on stream. I love it. Other than that, it was a really fun time here at Forbes. I'll be doing a post-action report breakdown, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Hello everyone and welcome to the After Action Report. That's right, I'm here once again at Mini Wargaming. It was this weekend that the tournament happened. I've had a few days to digest it. I'm here filming some really cool content with the Mini Wargaming crew. We've been doing a lot of collaborations together. So make sure you stay tuned for all the cool stuff. Now, any of the exclusive videos I do with them, go to the Patreon page as well. So Vault, Patreon. It's a win-win, so make sure you stay tuned for that stuff. So let's dive into the tournament. What a fun time. I went into the event wanting to spend time with friends. That was the main purpose of the event. And it was a time well had. It's been such a long time with the pandemic really sort of isolating us and putting us in our little bubbles. And it was really nice, going out and seeing people who I normally saw on a regular basis, almost every single week or every month at least. There'd be some sort of RTT where I'd be doing content, filming, and having a lot of fun playing games with friends. So that was really, really cool. Now let's talk about my list. That list with the double Void Raven, double Razorwing Jet Fighter hits like a freight train. It has an incredible amount of shooting. Double Trueborn, double Void Raven, double Razorwing Jet Fighter. And I didn't feel like I lacked the tools. It seems like it doesn't have a lot of troops, which is normal for that sort of list, but it hit really hard. I like the fact that I had the Mandrakes. It gave me some tactical flexibility. The single Urgles are sort of like a crutch because I'm just allowed to do it right now with the Blackstone Fortress stuff. Is that going to be a thing? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And at any point in time, either of those games, like I did go first all 3 games, which really helped with my Void Raven Bombers, at a larger game, like tournament, who knows? I've been testing the Void Ravens and I love them. To be honest, I'm thinking of doing some tweaks to this list. I'm thinking of dropping the 2 Razorwing jet fighters because, ultimately they weren't as efficient as I would have hoped. Putting in a Ravager with triple lances, but changing the Cabal of the Black Heart detachment to an Obsidian Rose detachment for some additional range, and rerolling to wound, which I think will be really useful, especially with a Ravager. And then taking a 3rd Void Raven bomber, because I love them that much and I think they are fantastic. So if you haven't tried them, I highly recommend you do. Huge shout out to all my opponents, or 3 great opponents, 3 great games. And of course, I didn't get to the top because Dustin got more points than I did with his sneaky Genestealer cult, who ended up going against the player I played with the Deathwing and the Deathwing and the Ravenwing. And he crushed that list with his Genestealer cults. That's right. With Genestealer cults with a little bit of Tyranids, just crushed it. Dustin is definitely an expert when it comes to Forces of the Hive Mind. So make sure you tune into the Stutter Scrub podcast and head on over to check what they do out, because he's a member of Team Canada, like a fellow teammate, and he's a magician when it comes to Genestealer cult, and I love what he does with the faction. Well, other than that, that's all. Thanks a lot for watching this little review report. I hope you enjoy this style of video. If you do, leave a comment down below. Tell me that you like it, or if you dislike it, tell me how much you dislike it so I don't do them again. And leave a like. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider supporting on Patreon. The links are all in the description down below, as well as a link to the list itself if you'd like to just copy my list and take it to an event. Other than that, I've been Skari, your grateful host, signing off until next time. Skari out. The Dark Kin.